that active when like defending.
I think it's like.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian, bro. Come on.
Just as Ian Wright said there, people deluded, I'm back again. Let's see what's going on in terms of Arsenal's talking points, etc., etc. Declan Rice, Cancelo, all of these, Caicedo as well, and all of these sort of things. Now, just before I came online, people, allegedly the Kroenke's back transfer plans as Mikel Arteta targets for new signings. Edu, our sporting director, or better yet, Arsenal sporting director, says the club owners Kroenke's are ready to back his transfer plans with Mikel Arteta to take the club to a different level this summer. I hope so, because we have to get better. Everybody is going to try and hit back, and we want to give a great account of ourselves in the Champions League for sure. And where the Prem's concerned, if there is a small possibility of pipping Manchester City to the trophy, we want to be able to exploit that. As we know, Arteta and Edu have been working together on transfer plans ahead of this window, as they should. You know, from newsflash, the owners should be backing it. Them lot should be doing that. So when you actually start to break it down, people, it's not really as exciting per se as stated here, but specifically the man has said there is still a lot to do. We see our squad with a margin to improve. There are different levels of football we can go to as well, and we are really excited to start next season as well, because we know where we are. We know probably what we need to do to go for a different level. We receive a lot of support from the board to do what we plan to do. Then let's face the summer and let's see how we are going to finish and improve the squad. Fair enough. And hopefully we do sign some players, people. And I'm pretty sure, as you lot can see, Declan Rice is going to become a theme. First things first, his numbers in the Prem are quite impressive. He made the most interceptions. He won possession 331 times. He's got 63 interceptions. He had the second most ball carries, third most for distance covered, and the fourth most for successful long passes. And he scored 9th for most tackles. So there is a lot of qualities Declan Rice can give us. I don't know if he's going to be a like-for-like replacement for someone like Granit Xhaka, for example, 9-10 goals in all comps. I don't know if Declan Rice is going to be like that and provide that sort of stuff, but I do think in a different team, he would show more of his technical level on a consistent basis, because that would be demanded of him. Obviously, he could play centre-half if need be and probably do that John Stone stuff. He's got many years in the tank. It makes sense, overpriced or not, it makes sense. For what it's worth, though, Bayern Munich have joined the race to sign Declan Rice. Sources in Germany say the West Ham captain has been identified by Thomas Tuchel as a player that can evidently help improve them, and he's one of their summer targets. Arsenal allegedly remain the front runners. He draws interest from Man United. He has rejected several offers by West Ham to commit his future, and it goes as high as 120 million. It states here in value. I'm not sure if Bayern Munich will do that, even though he'll provide longevity. Now, Bayern Munich is Bayern Munich, but when you just peep over to Germany, there seems to be a lot of turnover and a lot of changing of staff and a lack of stability by Bayern Munich standards, of recent. So I don't know if that's something he wants to take prepared of, people. For what it's worth, apparently Declan, on his own future, as they prepare for the Conference League final, he said, my main focus this season from the World Cup onward has been getting out of the relegation battle, and of course having one eye on winning this trophy. Commiserations to Leeds United and all the teams that got relegated. Everyone else is just noise and everything else, is just noise and speculation. Obviously I can't help that, it comes with playing, but my main focus is playing for West Ham and winning this final. My heart's set on that, on doing that for the club, for my family, for the fans, and that's my only focus. I want to make them all happy, and my focus is doing that. Allegedly West Ham have already identified potential replacements for Declan Rice, and Southampton also got relegated. As you could see there, James Ward-Prowse was there. Apparently Edu is prepared to ditch holidays for transfer deals, people. He said there's no time to rest. Oh boy, let's see what's going on. Again, he was watching the Brazilian All-Star match at Dagenham and Redbridge, and apparently he was asked for stuff. He said, there's little time for me to rest. That's just part of my role. We have to be available almost all the time. I have to meet people, go and see people, and also travel to make things happen. That's just the nature of my job, and it's something I really like to do. When you enjoy what you do, you have no problem with it. This is the case with my work. You signed up for it. Let's have a good summer. Make sure you address midfield. Make sure we bring in any other areas. Allegedly, we're expected to launch a club record bid for Declan Rice worth up to 90 million in the coming weeks. Further midfield additions could also yet materialize with Caicedo and Mason Mount on our shortlist. Xhaka, and I'm sure if you follow him on Instagram, he's posting cryptic messages. It seems he will be a Bayern Leverkusen player. Allegedly, we are also eyeing reinforcements in attack and at the back, and we've been linked with Gurhi, Mohamed Sinkerman, and Edmund Tapsoba of he sure he plays for Bayern Leverkusen, but of Bayern Leverkusen. So we'll have to see, really. It's nice to see that we're linked with players. Edu said allegedly it's not just about the money, it's about the strategy. That's how we have made progress, and that's how we want to continue working moving forward. We had a very progressive year. I think we did a really good job. We know there's still a lot to do. The intention is to keep going and keep moving forward. We want to be fighting for the Premier League title every year. That is our collective ambition. That can only be done by better players and doing other things. We all know that Bukayo Saka and Ramsdale have signed new deals. Apparently, Edu is also optimistic of tying down Saliba and Martin Odegaard to new deals. Reece Nelson is set to sign a 4-year extension with the option of a 5th year, so essentially a 5-year deal. People will have to see. So yeah, man. Edu finally went on to say, people, the main reason I'm playing is just to be here supporting the cause, the Brazilian community and the fans. Edu said, so yeah, big up him really and truly. He said, listen, we are just playing a friendly game. It's so nice to have them around us. I know that people be thinking because they're on one side of North London and we're on the other side, but the competition is on the field. When you have the opportunity to be here together, we are friends, we have a good connection and relationship, and that's proof it can exist with football. I mean, you know what? We have heard Gabriel and Lucas Moura are good friends, even though the one plays for Arsenal and Spurs. I mean, it's a job for them. They come from Brazil. They didn't grow up, outside Spurs or Arsenal Stadium. Is bigger than football, and they're Brazilian. They're Brazilians in a foreign country, So you want to stick together and have those sort of moments, really and truly. So it is what it is. Once again, allegedly, Thomas Tuchel has spoken to Declan Rice. Apparently, everybody's spoken to everyone. He remains at the top of their list as well. Apparently, despite the changes at Bayern Munich, specifically Oliver Kahn going and their sporting director, they're still going for the Declan Rices of this world. Allegedly, they can afford him. Bayern can afford it. They would like to keep it below 100 million euros, 86.4 million. I reckon they'll probably sell it cheaper to Bayern Munich. It's only English clubs that are going to get that sort of inflated price. We're expected to bid for him allegedly. So we'll have to see exactly what's going on, really. Again, reports say as high as 120 million. We all know he's got a year left with an option of another one. Apparently, we're still keeping an eye on Caicedo, so we'll have to see in that regards exactly what's going to happen. So yeah, man. Again, further midfield additions could materialize. We've kind of gone over that already. Arsenal have no intentions of letting Emil Smith-Rowe leave this summer, which is music to my ears, courtesy of David Ornstein and Mr. Art de Roche of The Athletic. Arsenal have no intention of letting Emil Smith-Rowe leave the club this summer. As you know, he's contracted until 2026 and remains an important part of Mikel Arteta's plans. Unfortunately, he's been reduced to just 13 appearances, and there has been speculation he could be set to depart. He is going to play for England at under-21s level in the under-21s championship. You want him to use that as a mini pre-season. When you look at the minutes for someone that was a key player last year, or the season before now, because last year is last season now, he played only 177 minutes in all competitions, 177. With all 13 appearances coming as a sub. So we go again. His evident quality is still there. I'm not hearing nothing. He finished the season he was fit. He was our second top goal scorer with 11 goals in all comps. And like it says here, he spearheaded the resurgence after a tough opening 3 games. Keep it going. But it's a difficult one. He's going to need to play. We're in the Champions League. We're getting more competitive. You've got a Euros to think about where you're an outsider, but to have any chance, you need to play. And this, the honeymoon period was, when you came into the first team. This is the realities now. Go and show Arteta why you need to be playing week in, week out. So we'll have to see. But that's for me. I'm very happy to see that. Thomas Tuchel and Declan Rice had good talks, but time could be running out for Bayern as the player could sign for Arsenal, allegedly. If we move on to Ivan Fresneda has a lucrative offer from both Arsenal and Borussia Dortmund, people. In fact, it said from Arsenal here, and they can spend significantly more to beat competition from Dortmund, who have also identified the right back as a target to acquire the player's signature. He's first choice for me. First choice target. He can play, he does the inverted role. He's very good technically. Still minor things in his game that needs to be tweaked. From what you read, he seems like he's keen to improve as a footballer. He has listed Arsenal and Mikel Arteta as teams that he's been looking out for when he's been watching football. But you can't sit here and say Borussia Dortmund, you know, they do this. When you would, you know, they saw with Jude Bellingham, you've seen with several players, you go there, learn your craft, and you could be sold back on. Hopefully Arteta is able to convince his fellow Spaniard, but apparently they'll face competition. If we look at the actual article from Sports Witness, apparently he has been identified as a target for the right back position, but Dortmund have to be wary about the threat they face from Arsenal. That's because the 18-year-old has a lucrative offer from the Gunners. Berlin provide no further details about the North London club's proposal, but this could also cause concern at Dortmund. So we'll have to see, really. He is contracted until 2025 and has made 24 appearances for his current club this season. We've been linked with Marco Asensio, where if you read reports, Aston Villa right now are the front runners, but nonetheless, Arsenal, AC Milan and Paris Saint-Germain have been linked with the soon to officially be free agent. I was reading this article and it spoke about Balogun people. Balogun's been linked with a number of clubs already. Where is the specific part? This kind of linked in with clubs abroad. With his international future sorted, Balogun could focus on charting his club future, but as noted above, the uncertainty of where he'll play next season is shared by a significant swathe, I believe, of first team pool. More than a dozen European-based US players could be on the move. There's an actual, sorry to do you lot dirty here, people, but there is here it is, specifically in relation to Balogun. Ornstein reported last month Balogun wants to be a first-choice striker, wherever he plays next season, which is unlikely at Arsenal with Gabriel Jesus and others in place. He's also reported Balogun doesn't want to go on loan again, with a permanent transfer to preference. AC Milan, Inter Milan, Leipzig, Marseille and Monaco are clubs expected to pursue Balogun. And he was linked with West Ham a few days ago. Yunus Musa is linked with a move away as well. People from Valencia, also an American international, also a Haylender. Arsenal are keeping tabs on James Maddison. Price could be 40 million, but their number one target is Rice, and a move for Maddison. We'll have to see how that develops. Once again, Barcelona are in talks for João Cancelo, but financial constraints pose challenges. Apparently, Sky Sports Germany has revealed that Barca have already expressed an interest in him, but finances could make it difficult, people. But there's a way to get around that. Where there's a willingness, there's a way. DiMarzio, journalist, is saying that Pep won't block a potential deal for João Cancelo to join Arsenal. Xavi's opened the door on potentially Ansu Fati leaving. I did not want Aubameyang to leave the club, but everything depended on FFP. You've to look at economic opportunities, and that happens with all players, not just Asu, but all of them. And he also quashed reports that Conde could be leaving. Allegedly, journalist James Green said, Edu also told me he won't be going too far this summer, no trips to Brazil, because he wants to be close to be able to have face-to-face meetings. He's expected to be very, very busy. I mean, not just him, everybody's going to be. Paris Saint-Germain are eyeing a move for Martin Odegaard. Fresh talks between Arsenal and Saliba are set to take place in the next few weeks. Arsenal are to offer Saliba fresh terms that are in line with the contract that's been given to Saka and Cole, people. Apparently, Saliba's ready to sign a contract months ago in line with the discussions of Saka and Martinelli. However, his agent stalled the deal due to Saliba and his camp realizing the importance in the squad post-injury. They have used this as leverage for better terms. Arsenal also held off further talks to both aid Saliba with his recovery and to ensure he recovered to the same level pre-injury. In recent weeks, Saliba has progressed significantly, which has brought both parties back to the table. Both parties are now confident a deal gets signed, and actually he could be given a new number. Everything is also set up for Saliba to take the number 2 shirt, with this expected to be official once Saliba has tied down his future at the Emirates. So hopefully, and to be honest, that tells me your agents have done a great job. They should be leveraging that, as frustrated as it might be for Arsenal or Arsenal fans. They should be able to do that, really and truly. So we'll have to see exactly where that's concerned. Romano has said, I understand Man City are ready to sell Cancelo this summer. He will return from Bayern there are some reports, as I meant to say, that he's available for 40 billion euros. But apparently his buy option of 70 million euros at Bayern Munich will not be triggered. Arsenal appreciate Cancelo. He's one of the names on the list. Barca have genuine interest since January, but it depends on FFP, as stated, people. And in relation to Zubimendi, Rodri is gassing him. Busquets is gassing him, and Rodri, he said on Kimmich or Zubimendi, said, I feel Zubi suits our style better. I really want Zubimendi, but I think that one's a myth. To kind of wrap up this, then, people, once again, Paris Saint-Germain are plotting a move for Odegaard. And we've been linked to a return for Alexis Sanchez. Haven't we learned from bringing in pensioners back to the club how that isn't going to help us? Paris Saint-Germain are ahead of Arsenal for Vlahovic. Some reports in the last couple of hours have said Bayern Munich are going in for Vlahovic. Milinković-Savić is available for 26 million euros, people. As you know, his contract is winding down, and apparently Lazio are ready to cash in on him. Apart from Arsenal, Juventus and Liverpool are eyeing him. We've been linked with a move for Elise of Crystal Palace, formerly of Reading. That would be lit. I mean, Elise, Gonyanto of Leeds, these guys would be decent for us. Nelson's allegedly agreed a new deal. We've been linked with Rabiot and Conde. So we'll have to see exactly what's been going on. We've been linked with Szoboszlai and Dani Olmo. Again, very few of these things are really going to happen. So we'll have to see exactly what's going to be done in that regards. Don't forget to hit the like button, comment, subscribe, and let me know your thoughts on everything we've discussed. Stay blessed, stay safe, and I'll see you lot again soon.
There's always just that.
Active and defending.
I think it's